We're talking about the SEIU moments ago. They are the union behind the push for school dinner. Now, nobody knows that. As far as the media is concerned, the push for school dinner is based on the fact that it's the only nice thing that we get starving kids. Kids can't survive with just a snack from 2 o'clock until dinner. So the schools have to come in here and do something. We just, as a culture, as a society, we just can't have starving children. It's not right. But it's the union behind it. More jobs, cafeteria workers, so forth and so on. More union dues. Now, in light of that, the story here at Washington Examiner, if you are a parent, and this is an amazing story, this stuff in this story. This story is about the tentacles of union dues, the way the tentacles of union dues can stretch into the federal government in an unstoppable quest to collect money for an agenda. If you are a parent who accepts Medicaid payments from the state of Michigan to help support your mentally disabled adult children, you qualify as a state employee for the purposes of the Service Employees International Union. If you're a parent, if you're not a member of a union, stick with me on this. This was part of the discussion we were all having with the elections about union pensions, salaries, and so forth in the state of Michigan to Governor Walker. If you are a parent and you have a mentally disturbed adult child, and thus you accept Medicaid payments, you are now, whether you want to be or not, a state employee for the purposes of the SEIU. And the union, can now claim and receive a portion of your Medicaid in the form of union dues. Is this understandable? I mean, it sounds so incredible. It's not complicated. It just sounds unbelievable. You are parent Joe Schmo and your wife Molly Schmo, and you have a mentally disabled adult child, and so you accept Medicaid payment. Guess what? You're now a member of the SEIU. You have no choice, and a portion of what Medicaid gives you to care for your child now gets thrown back to SEIU in the form of union dues. And that money then ends up back in the traditional money laundering operation of the Democrat Party. Robert and Patricia Haynes live in Michigan with their 2 adult children who have cerebral palsy. The state government provides the family with insurance through Medicaid, but also treats them as caregivers. For the SEIU, the Service Employees International Union, that makes them public employees. And thus, they are the members of the union, which receives $30 out of the family's monthly Medicaid subsidy. That's what is deducted from your Medicare payment and given to the SEIU as your union due. The Michigan Quality Community Care Council, MQC3, deducts union dues on behalf of the SEIU. Michigan Department of Community Health Director Olga Dazzo explained the process to her members of her staff. She said, MQC3 basically runs the program for SEIU and passes the union dues from the state to the union. She wrote that in an email obtained by the Mackinac Center, initiated in 2006 under then-Governor Jennifer Granholm, a Democrat. The plan reportedly provides the SEIU with $6 million annually in union dues deducted from those Medicaid subsidies or payments. Robert Haynes, a retired Detroit police officer, told the Mackinac Center for Public Policy, "We're not even home health care workers. We're just parents taking care of our kids. Our daughter's 34, our son's 30. They have cerebral palsy. They're basically like 6-month-old in adult bodies. They need to be fed. They wear diapers. We could sure use that $30 a month as being sent to the union." According to the Mackinac Center, The theoretical public employer for whom the Haynes work is the Michigan Quality Community Care Council, MQC3, which is an entity within the DCH. And that continues to operate, even though the state legislature has defunded it. Even the MQC3 calls the families hiring in-home health care providers. Mr. and Ms. Haynes, of course, are both the parents, the employer, and the health care providers for their children, but they still lose money to the SEIU every month. Despite having no interest in joining the union, they have been arbitrarily classified as state employees. I remember warning people this was on the agenda, this was coming down the pike, heading down the tracks, and now it's happened. And it's just been instituted or applied. You can't opt out. You automatically become a member of the SEIU without a vote even. There's no card check here. If you take Medicaid, federal money, state money, government money, you take it for a mentally disabled child, $30 of it every month siphoned off as union dues because you're now a member of SEIU. And that total in Michigan, what they collect, is $6 million. I don't know if that's just Michigan or if it's more states than that. And as I said, let me repeat this. The arrangement began in 2006 under Granholm, reportedly provides SEIU with an annual haul of $6 million for their union coffers, which are then used to elect Democrats who are more than willing to return the favor. Michigan, it's what has been going on for years right in front of our faces. We just haven't characterized it properly, but we do now. Money laundering. It's how the unions get money and then give a portion of it back to the federal government, Democrats, for their continued re-election. This is pretty brazen, folks, but it's happening, and it won't stop in the state of Michigan until people get active and stop it some way. It's going to require legislation, obviously, and that's going to cause more fights, just like happened in Michigan and in Ohio this week. I got to take a brief time out. We'll do it. Open Line Friday resumes shortly.